Okay, boys and girls, we are going to try something. We're going to do some investigating. This lesson will take us 2 days. So I really want you to work with the manipulatives and try to understand what this is going to look like, because we're going to do double-digit division, dividing with a 2-digit divisor. So let's look at our first problem. Oh, first, before we start, I'm sorry, you need to go through the base 10 blocks, and you need at least 100 base 10 block, and get the base 10 blocks out. You need at least 1 100s and 10 10s and 10 ones to have out. Okay, so let's look at our story problem. There are 156 students in Carville Middle School course. The music director wants the students to stand with 12 students in each row for the next concert. How many rows will there be? Okay, we're going to use the base 10s to model this, and I want you not to worry about your page, but I just want you to follow along with me on here and do what I'm doing to see if you understand it. So we had 156 students, and we're going to divide them into 12 equal rows. So we have our dividend and we have our divisor. So I'm going to get out my 156 base 10 blocks. Okay, now when we use base 10 blocks, we have to do what I have my 156 out. Now my dividend tells me how many I'm going to put into my rectangle or have equal groups of. So I'm going to make an equal group of 12. So I know I have 10 here, 11, 12. Because if I put those together, I have a nice rectangle and I have a group of 12. Because 10 plus 2 more is 12. So I have a nice rectangle because I want to keep everything into a rectangle. What do I have left over? I have 36 left over. So what I need to do is make sure I keep my rectangle, but I want to see how many more groups of 12 I can make with my 36. So I'm going to add one here and add 2 ones. That's a group of 12. And I still have my rectangle. I'm going to add another one. And I still have my rectangle, a really nice rectangle. I'm going to add one more, and I still have my rectangle. I've used all 36 of mine. Now, how many equal groups of 12 do I have? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3. Well, I don't even have to do that because I know there's 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 groups of 12. Or if we did the inverse of operation, 13 times 12 equals 156. So now let's go back to the worksheet and let's see what that looks like if we're doing here. So we did this. With your model in front of you, now the way we just did it, look at, we placed those and we had 10 groups of 12. And then we had 36 left over. Because when I counted this way, I still had, before I started, I had 10 groups. All right, how many groups are there? There were 3 groups left over of 12 when I added them on. So 10 plus 3 is 13 groups of 12. I had 12. Okay, let's shoot another one and turn your page. And this time we're first going to do it with the base 10 blocks, and then we're going to do it with our whiteboards. And I'm going to show you that you don't always have to have the base 10 blocks out, but if you like working with them, but eventually you're going to have to draw quick pictures too. So let's start this. We're going to divide 180 divided by 15. All right, so let's go back to our whiteboard. So get out 180. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, I have 180 right here. And I have to break them into 15 equal groups. So I know I have 10 here to make my rectangle. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you see I have my nice rectangle sitting here, and I have 15 because 10 plus 5 more is 15. Now remember, I have to break these into equal groups. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, I could put this here, but I can't put this there to make an equal group. But I know that there are 10 ones in this base 10 block. So I can exchange the 10 ones and for that base 10 block. So now I have 10 ones. Now can I make an equal group of 15? Let's try. And remember, I got to keep my rectangle. So now I have 11 groups of 15. I'm going to try and make another equal group, which I know I can because I had 5 left over from the last one. And do I have a perfect rectangle? Did I use all my blocks? Now, how many equal groups of 15 do I have? Well, I know I have 10, 11, 12. So 180 divided by 15 equals 12, or 12 times 15 equals 180. Let's go back to the worksheet and let's see if we did what they asked us to do. So we did the 880, and we had 10 groups of 15. Then we had 2 groups of 10 and 10 groups of 1s because we made that, we regrouped. When we finished, we had 12 groups, and our answer is 12. Alright, so let's look here and let's see if we were doing a picture. So I want to show you quickly how fast a picture will work. And the whiteboards are much nicer than. So I'm going to do 180. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 180. So I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I'm going to erase 5 from here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So then I know I have to make those equal groups. So I have 10 here, so I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Move this over so I have a rectangle. I know I have 10 plus 1 plus 2, that's equals 12 equal groups of 15. So that's what the picture will look like when you draw it, or if you see a picture, that's what it will look like. Okay, let's quick do this last one down here, and we're going to just draw that one. So I have 143 divided by 13. So is what I would like you to do with this one is I would like you to do the base 10 blocks. I want you to lay it out and let's see what it looks like and see if you come up with the same answer. I am going to quick draw it and see what it looks like. Okay, let's go back and see how well we did. And I had 10, I added one more group, and it equaled 11. All right, that's as far as we're going to go today. If you have extra time, you may move on to the next video. If you don't, the next video is part B.